What's up, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and none of the above? This is DL here, coming to you with a new piece here. Got a competitive draft league format analysis of Flygon, going over how Flygon works in the Pokemon draft league format. Got a wonderful quotation from Gregulator, hashtag oh gosh, talking about in the GBA D League Season 4. This was his comment on somebody's draft analysis, telling him to drop Flygon and Electivire, saying they're Unmons. Well, here's my video about how Flygon is not an Unmon. So Flygon's usually put in Tier 3. It's a Dragon Ground type, and its ability is Levitate. And I like to use Shiny Flygon, so that's what we got up here. So, what is Flygon? It's got good speed, average bulk, decent attack at base 100, good speed at base 100, and yeah, all its other stats are base 80. It's got a usable special attack stat for if you're using like a 4-time super effective coverage move, which it has access to quite a few of. So yeah, Flygon's stats are pretty evenly distributed across the board. The base stat total of 520, not bad. So its typing's quite good. It's got Dragon Ground typing with the Levitate ability, so it has 2 immunities to Electric and Ground, and it's actually an Edgequake resist, because thanks to Levitate, it's immune to Ground, and as a ground type, it resists rock. It also takes half damage from Stealth Rock and is immune to spikes, toxic spikes, and sticky webs. So that's pretty nice. It works really well against hazard stacking. It has a 4 times ice weakness, unfortunately. So if you're using it to try to sweep, might get stopped by Ice Shard. But it has a very strong dual stab combination here. Here it's taken from Pokemon Database. This doesn't take into account Pokemon's abilities, but if you just go by typings, there's only 3 Pokemon that Ground and Dragon have no effect on. I'm pretty sure it's Togekiss and its evolution line. Might be and Shedinja. 9 not very effective, so that's things like Skarmory, Celesteela, Tapu Bulu. And then it hits 618 Pokemon for normal effectiveness and 288 for super effective. And keep in mind when you're going by these not very effective, this includes Pokemon that aren't fully evolved. So you won't run into 12 Pokemon that are completely going to stop Flygon in your league. And then on the left here we have Flygon's resistances and immunities. Pretty good. Put this pointer on. Pretty handy. So it's move pool. So on the left column we have physical moves. The middle column we got status moves and support moves, stuff like that, setup moves. On the right side we have special moves. So it's got Earthquake, Outrage, Dragon Claw, U-Turn. Those are probably the most common attacking moves you'll see on Flygon. Stone Edge, really good coverage. Fire Punch, great for hitting certain steel types like, say, Scizor. Iron Tail, really good for fairies. Crunch might hit things like Bronzong. Thunder Punch, for things like, say, a Mantine. Superpower can come in clutch. Dragon Tail, really good for phasing things out. Power Up Punch can help you boost up. And Aerial Ace can hit things that could be annoying, such as Edgequake resists, like Chestnut or Virizion. For support moves, status moves, Dragon Dance, definitely good option on Flygon. Has a nice base 100 speed, solid base 100 attack. Boost those up one stage. You can maybe sweep a team, maybe take a couple mons down. Defog. Flygon is a fantastic defogger, and we'll go over that more later. Roost, so it has access to reliable recovery. It's got Tailwind, Toxic, of course. Then Home Claws is another option, which is pretty nice in conjunction with some of its less accurate moves, namely Iron Tail. So you can boost up with a Home Claws when you're facing something like a Tapu Bulu. You can then smack it with a Iron Tail, which would be pretty accurate with +1 accuracy. Could be pretty good. For special moves, you got Draco Meteor and Earth Power, so it does have access to Stab on the special side. Bug Buzz, Fire Blast, Flamethrower, Grass Knot, Giga Drain. It does have Boom Burst if you're running some weird Specs Flygon set. But yeah, you can fit pretty niche coverage moves in Draft League format. I ran Fire Blast before for Mega Scizor. And then other things people are often 4 times weak to, like grass coverage for things like, say, a Seismitoad. Yeah. Then viable sets. There's basically four main types of sets for Flygon. One is Dragon Dance. This is its favorite set. This is the set that Flygon wants to run. And this kind of set is really enabled if you make Flygon one of your Z captains in draft format. So it can really nuke that one thing that's getting in its way, such as usually that would be a ground immunity or ground resistance that you'd want to hit with something like a Z Outrage, maybe a Z Iron Tail for a bulky fairy type. So you'd be running Dragon Dance, Earthquake, then either Dragon Claw or Outrage. Outrage is often needed for the extra power. And then either the other dragon move that you're not using, or a coverage move like Iron Tail or Fire Punch, for example. Choice Scarf is another really viable set for Flygon. You'll always be running U-Turn, which it does have access to. Makes a very good user of choice items. Earthquake, and then dragon moves slash coverage move like Iron Tail or Fire Punch. Defog is also a very good set. You'd be running Defog, Dual Stab. Your strong dual stab combination really enables you to run Defog because you often don't need coverage. And then you can either get recovery in Roost or momentum in U-Turn. And then Choice Band is going to look just like the Choice Scarf set as far as move pool. Not as common a random set, but I have used it and it can be effective. So, Dragon Dance Flygon. This is Flygon's ideal set. It's got kind of average attack, kind of average speed. Boost both of those, it can make it work. As I said, it greatly appreciates holding a Z crystal for the extra power. In the Kirby Street League Season 2, which is where I'm going to be basing a lot of this off of, I did have Flygon, and it was not one of my Z captains, so I often made use of boosting items instead, which made it not as great of a Dragon Dance sweeper, but it was effective in the league because I was able to hit the things I needed to. Like this set was designed to smack an Umbreon with Expert Belt superpower. And then if you got it as a Z captain, your coverage moves can be really nice as well. For smacking really bulky resistances like Mega Scizor, Ferrothorn, Bulu, Togekiss, Celesteela Skarmory, and something like an Unaware Clefable could be an issue if you are a Dragon Dance Flygon. Now, Flygon is vulnerable to faster Scarfers since it is only base 100, so anything faster than that Scarf will outspeed you at +1. And also, Ice Shard is a really good means of shutting down Dragon Dance Flygon. If you're facing something like a Mamoswine or Abomasnow, Mega Abomasnow, Piloswine, Weavile, Sneasel, maybe you don't want to bring Dragon Dance Flygon, maybe you need to run Yachi Berry, stuff like that. It is often, unfortunately, reliant on Outrage or Z moves for breaking through ground resist, because locking is a downside because either you need to blow your Z move or you need to lock yourself into Outrage, which can make you more vulnerable to dragon resistor immunities. You can get revenge killed by a fairy type really easily if you're locked into Outrage. So that's really the main drawbacks, downsides of Dragon Dance Flygon. And here's what a set would look like. Jolly, max speed, max attack, Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Dragon Claw, Dual Stab, and then had the coverage move Superpower to smack an Umbreon on this particular team. So here's a loadout of my Week 3 matchup in the Kirby Street League Season 2. Here's the team I was facing. Kartana, Umbreon, Mega Blastoise, Mudsdale, Victini, Gengar, Klefki, Electros, Strudagon, Hariyama, and Cryogonal. This was a really great matchup for Dragon Dance Flygon because he doesn't have a lot of priority on this team outside of Hariyama has Fake Out and Bullet Punch. Then he has Prankster on Klefki, but Flygon being a ground type is immune to Prankster Thunderwave, which is pretty handy. And his team wasn't all that fast outside of things just marginally faster than Flygon like Kartana and Gengar and Cryogonal, which weren't very likely Scarfers because of the way my team was built. It would be a headache for him to try to run Scarf Kartana since I had such great grass and steel resist. As you can see, my team over here got great grass resist and things like Heatran and Alolan steel resist and things like Raikou, Heatran, and Suicune. Yeah, so his fairy type is also a Klefki, which makes it very easy for Flygon to often lock itself into Outrage if I needed to but I didn't. Ground was just very spammable against the team, since he did have the double steal. And Dragon Claw was only really needed for the Electros and the Krogonal, which the Krogonal also got smacked by Superpower. So that was a really handy coverage move here. And Flygon really works well with Volt Turn offense. It is itself, it doesn't get worn down by hazards like Volt Turn teams are often weak to. It does have access to U-Turn itself. So it worked really well with my Raikou here. Raikou provided a lot of chip damage, momentum, and braking power. And then Alolan Muck's ability to knock items off, get rid of choice scarfs or leftovers from things, and get some more chip damage with its Poison Touch ability. Then Heatran setting up Stealth Rocks all really helped facilitate a Flygon sweep. So here I got a replay of the battle. This isn't quite the team from this Week 3 matchup. This is playoffs where he did drop the Mudsdale for Donphan and the Hariyama for Girder, but it works about the same here. So you can see he's got the Umbreon, Victini, Mega Blastoise, Girder, Druddigon, and Kartana. I leave with my Suicune. I'm just going to skip these turns. Get the burn on this. Metronome Togekiss is a monster. Best set, by the way. Just going to hacks the crap out of this Druddigon, which was one of his physical checks. You can see we're making use of Flygon's resistances and immunities here. Resist fire, immune to electric. So Flygon then barely took any damage from rocks. So he got in free on the Gigavolt Havoc from the Victini. Let me force it out with an Earthquake. Flygon has really useful resistances and immunities that can help you get it in, despite its somewhat average bulk. So I'm going to get it off an Earthquake. I learn about the set. It's max HP, no defense. My Flygon, get my Togekiss in here. Get away the rocks. Now he's got no Rock Setter. We got that in pretty safely, thanks to Flygon forcing out the Victini. See, we set up our rocks here. It's going to help chip things down like the Umbreon, the Mega Blastoise. Here we get a burn off on the Umbreon with the Suicune, which is really good because now his foul plays will be doing less if we set up with the Flygon in its face. So that's why I go hard Flygon here. So he shows the Heal Bell, which is annoying because Flygon can't just set up Dragon Dances and not care about this thing. But it means he doesn't have Toxic on his set, which means he can't kill Togekiss, which would have been really good if I still had my Metronome, which was unfortunately knocked off by the Girder. But still, this is really nice information because it also means that Raikou doesn't have to worry about taking a Toxic from this thing. So my Calm Mind Raikou can also set up on this. So it's sort of, he's screwed either by the Flygon or the Raikou. That's how they work together. So I'm going to go for the Superpower here because, big damage. He reveals Foul Play, and since Superpower lowers both my attack and my defense, I don't die to that. And he is now forced out because he will die to a -1 extra belt Superpower. I'm just playing it safe here, no reason to overpredict. Using my immunities again. He's got on his head that I'm going to go Flygon, so I get Heatran in for free with that fire immunity. Raikou's getting good damage on Flygon's check here and the Girder. Unfortunately, missing an Air Slash on the Umbreon, so it is able to get up. I don't get the flinch either. But Flygon, if I had Dragon Danced here, he would have just lost the game because he clicked Wish. But I made the safe play of the Superpower. But either way, even though Flygon isn't going to sweep here, it is going to get Umbreon very weakened, which is my primary win condition in this game. Because if Umbreon gets weakened, Raikou goes to town on this team. And he can't deal with Togekiss either because he doesn't have a flying resist. Togekiss will beat every Pokemon on this team except for Kartana if Togekiss has taken some damage, and possibly Victini, which is going to be at 1% when it comes back in anyways. I do Dragon Dance on the Protect, it's pretty nice. And I am out damaging the Wish plus Leftovers, so he is just gonna knock me out. It leaves the Umbreon at like 12%. Just gonna let my Raikou just run town. So Flygon has done its job in this game. So we didn't get the sweep, but Flygon still definitely put in work here. Alright. Let me fix this. Alright, Choice Scarf Flygon. So Flygon has a great Scarfer because it has access to U-turn, has a good speed tier, a strong dual stab, although there are presence of immunities to both of its stab moves, which is kind of annoying. Say Trace Gardevoir would be immune to Earthquake and Dragon Claw and Outrage, which would be very annoying. And it's a little lacking in power and reliant on the drawback-filled move Outrage to try to compensate for that. So here's a couple of examples of Scarf Flygons that I did run. Scarf Defog is a fine set to run on Flygon. It is a little awkward, but you can often fit it because you have access to the move slots you need with your dual stab most of the time. And yeah, you can often run Dragon Claw and Outrage, though I don't have it on either of these. So help you have access to your Dragon Stab, but not have the drawback when you need to not be locked into Outrage. So here's a matchup where I used a Choice Scarf Flygon. This is against Eon, who took over a team coached by Donick. Scarf Flygon is really nice for checking Dragon Dance Kommo-o, for Thunderous T, Scarf Darmanitan, really good against Alakazam. And yeah, his Fairy type doesn't have any recovery since it's Tapu Fini and doesn't resist Earthquake, so Flygon can definitely chip things down, especially in conjunction with this Raikou, giving that full turn offense. And then Mega Abomasnow also really puts pressure on the bulky waters, grounds, and grass types that are checks to Flygon. Things like the Fini, things like the Delmise, the Mudsdale are all terrified of Mega Abomasnow, so they work really well together. And Flygon does really appreciate Raikou's ability to hard counter Thunderous T, which is the only ground immunity on this team, so Earthquake was really spammable since Raikou was able to deal with the Thundy. Anyways, here is that replay, and you're going to see Flygon put in a ton of work in this game. See, he leads Thunderous T, and Raikou takes nothing from that Volt Switch and is going to 2-hit KO with HP Ice. So we get the Raikou in, the Fini. We are leftovers Raikou here, which is really nice because I have Sustain and he doesn't. Yeah, we're going to wear down all this stuff that doesn't have recovery. Get in on the Earthquake for free. We get the U-turn in. Now Thunderous is in range of HP Ice 100% of the time. Thunderous goes down, and now we can spam Earthquake against this team. Alright. So Mega Abomasnow is going to wear down this Mega Aggron, which is really good because this thing can chew hits from Flygon because it has such high physical defense. Mega Abomasnow, great Pokemon, just beat its own check right here. He overpredicts and goes for Earthquake twice, but I recognize my win condition as Flygon, so I want to get damage on the Mega Aggron. Get some nice chip on the Fini, force that out, kill the Drapion. We are Scarf Flygon, so you can check a Dragon Dance Kommo-o like this, but all the muck does the job anyways. And we can force out this Focus Sash Alakazam, or not. Sack Suicune here, because Raikou is important for the Fini. Free U-turn here into the Raikou, which will kill Fini at this range. Raikou kills Fini. Sam kills Raikou. And then Flygon revenge kills Alakazam. Yes, Flygon was a U-turn machine in this game, but that's because we were U-turning on things like Alakazam, which will drop to 1 U-turn, so it's free. And worked really well in tandem with the Raikou in this game. So Defog Flygon. I did bring Defog Flygon in week 2 against Eric. Flygon is a great defogger because it takes half damage from Stealth Rock. It's immune to spikes, T-spikes, and sticky webs. Strong stab frees up move slots. It's got access to Roost and U-turn. They're also very nice support and utility moves. Yeah. So I brought it week 2, and the utility Flygon really helped support my Specs, Breaker, and Eruption. Yeah, Specs, Eruption, Heatran, which would 2-hit KO every single Pokemon on this team with Eruption, with the exception of Guzzlord and Spadef Blastoise. Like max HP Blastoise would be 2-hit KO'd. And a 2-hit KO things like Porygon 2, Mega Venusaur, and Celesteela. And it also helped support my Togekiss, which was very surgical in this game with the T-Wave, Dazzling Gleam, Air Slash, Flamethrower. Could really pick apart his team, take advantage of his fat mons like Mega Venusaur and Porygon 2. Here we got that replay. Cursolola Muck, another monster. Mew's burning everything. Yeah, Flygon coming in. Garchomp clicks SD. He's a fool and wonders if I have Choice Scarf when I just reveal leftovers. He actually switches into the Celesteela onto Togekiss, which is really annoying for me, actually. But yeah, we get Flygon in on the Earthquake. He predicts the Heatran. We take like nothing from the rocks, and we're able to defog the rocks away. Here I click U-turn, and I know he clicked this move instantly. There's no way that he's clicking anything but Heavy Slam here, because he literally clicked this in 2 seconds. So I get my Heatran in basically for free. I'm going to get off a huge Eruption here. Garchomp taking 64 on the switch in. And Togekiss not taking rocks damage since he got that defog off. And it's just going to wreck. And Flygon's already done his job this game because the Selly's gone. The Garchomp's weakened. Mega Venusaur's 80% burned. And Garchomp is the Stealth Rocker. So we're going to be able to kill that. And he's got no rocks thanks to Flygon. Then for the last Flygon set, we got Choice Band Flygon. Again, has access to U-turn, which is really good for choice users, maintaining momentum. It's got a good speed tier for a choice band user, actually, at base 100. It really appreciates the extra power. And it's able to break through a lot of traditional checks to Flygon, which is really handy, including unaware Pokemon, such as, say, Quagsire. If you're running Iron Tail, you could break through unaware Clef as well. Yeah. So here's the team. A build where I brought Choice Band Flygon. This is actually in the semifinals of the Kirby Street League Season 2 against my pal Foreside. Choice Band Flygon was able to deal with a lot of variations of Milotic, able to handle Scizor, break through Gramble pretty well, and Sandslash. And again, formed a really nice Volt Turn Core with my Raikou. And if he, no matter what Milotic set he brought, if he was Spadef, he was losing to Flygon. If he was Fizdef, he was losing to Raikou. So these two were able to destroy their team in conjunction with each other. And I also appreciate some on this team, Togekiss, my Scarf Togekiss with Trick, its ability to wear down checks like Scizor, Milotic, and Gramble, or trick the Choice Scarf to things like Milotic. And yeah, Flygon, with that base 100 speed, outspeeds most of my opponent's team here, which makes Choice Band a really viable option. So if you're able to take advantage of Flygon's speed tier, Choice Band might be the set for you. And this Flygon set also takes advantage of my opponent having a very lackluster Fairy type in the Gramble, and a Grass type in Superior that doesn't do anything against my team because I have Heatran and Togekiss, which together stop any variant of Superior. He does bring the Gramble, which is a subpar choice. Raikou's going to go in against this team, though, because he brings the Gramble. So Roserades is only electric resist. He has no ground type. He does reveal himself to be Spadef Milotic, but I'm able to trick the Choice Scarf onto Milotic, so Raikou doesn't need Flygon to take this thing out. So Flygon isn't going to do too much, so I don't need it to. Because he brought Gramble, which isn't a real Pokemon. I'm going to be able to take massive advantage of it. And he also brought a team that gets 6-0 by my Scald, Taunt, Psychic, Soft-Boiled Mew. I get Flygon in on the Hidden Power Ground, though, again, getting it in for free on the immunity. We're going to take this out, and at this point, he just loses to Raikou because he has no electric resist. You're going to see Metacham just drop to Gigavolt Havoc. And at this point, he's just got to take a ton of damage. Gramble is his best thing to send out against a Raikou. Takes 67 on the crit. This is a Cofagrigus. Sorry about the sprite not loading. But yeah, Flygon, taking advantage of its immunities, working great with the Raikou, Volturn offense. Great way to run a Flygon. And if he didn't have this Gramble, the Flygon would have gone off. Didn't need it to because he lost to Raikou. So yeah, you didn't see Flygon completely dominate anybody because I didn't need it to in any of these games because a lot of my opponents seriously underprepped for Raikou. But it works really well with electric types. Works really well in Volturn offense. Good defogger. A lot of great viable sets. Fantastic typing. Edgequake resist was very handy. You saw I got Flygon in for absolute free multiple times. Clutch moments. Highly recommend drafting Flygon. I'd say it's definitely worth tier 3 if it fits your team. If it's tier 4, it's an absolute steal and you should 100% draft it. Alright, this has been DL. Hope you're having a great day. Take care.